We've got one consultant off sick and another being called away to an emergency, so it's a bit frantic in here today. Yes.
Not knowing, that's the worst part.
I want to go mad if we have to sit here much longer.
Don't make a fuss, Steve.
You know what it's like in these places, Sal. The ones who shout the loudest get the attention. Yeah.
Mr. Adebole, please.
Yes. There's not many people in here called Smith, are there? So I spot the white man in here.
Leave it, Steve.
I'm just saying, we were here before him.
Or maybe he's a more urgent case than us.
Yeah, right.
Mr. Chung, please.
Yes, I'm here.
Even Charlie Chan's getting seen in front of us. Looks like you've got to be a foreigner in this place to get seen. I mean, look at her. She hasn't got a clue what she's doing. Couldn't organise her. You know what I mean? They're not exactly noted for their organisational skills in bongo land, are they?
Steve, please.
They get them straight off the banana boat, give them work permits, stick them in here and let them run the place. It's no wonder nothing goes right. Right, I've had enough of this.
OK, I'll see if we can get this case notes forwarded. Yeah, thanks.
Excuse me. Is my wife's name fallen off your list or something?
What's her name, please?
Baxter. B-A-X-T-E-R.
She's down to see Dr. Raj. He got called away to an emergency this morning, so his clinic's running late. I'm really sorry about the wait, but I can assure you...
And there's me thinking it was your fault. But it's not, no, it's Dr. Raj. Indian, is he? All you ethnics stick together, don't you? Cover up for each other.
It's not that at all. I'm sorry about the wait. Your wife is definitely on the list, and she'll be seen as soon as we can. And, you know, I'd really appreciate...
So how come, right, all the other foreigners get seen before us?
Can I help here?
At last, one of our own kind. Excuse me, my wife is going to pieces over there. Went to see the doctor about her test results, and this woman keeps putting all the other foreigners in the queue in front of us.
Look, you've caught us on a bad day, I'm afraid. I'll see what I can do.
Steve,
come sit. All right.
Have a sit down and I'll look into it.
Did you hear what he was saying?
Yes, I heard what he said, but let's not make it worse. Try and calm him down. What's the name?
Baxter.
Well, you have to be pretty thick-skinned to work in this sort of environment. And the guy was clearly worried about his wife and, you know, it just came out in the heat of the moment. People say nasty things when they're stressed, and you've got to get used to it. If we chucked out everybody who made a racist or sexist remark, we'd have real trouble on our hands. I know we operate a zero-tolerance policy on racist behaviour, but in practice, you have to have a little bit of flexibility when it comes to interpreting these things.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not a racist. I've got black friends. It's just sometimes you've got to stick up for yourself and not let these people get away with it. The white nurse, the bloke, he knew the score. He's not going to say anything, but he was on our side.
What's the point of having a zero policy on racism if nobody puts it into action? You know, the hospital policy is, if anyone makes racist remarks, they are asked to leave. That's what it says, and everybody knows it. It's on posters in every waiting room, every consulting room, every treatment area. So if one person gets away with it, then there's someone else in the waiting room who thinks they can get away with it too. Chris, the nurse, he's a nice enough guy. He doesn't think that way himself. Well, at least... No, I'm sure he doesn't, but he might as well be a racist because that's the way that guy saw him, as another racist. Someone who agreed with every word he said. I suppose I'm angry with myself too. I should have said something earlier when I overheard the guy making those remarks, but you need to know you're going to get support from your colleagues. Look what just happened.
This sort of incident can occur in any situation where a service is being delivered to the general public.
The impact of this patient's husband's behaviour and language is quite significant, both on the other fellow patients and other people accessing this service, sitting in the waiting room, and also other members of NHS staff.
The white colleague tried to be helpful. He was, in fact, actually undermining her position even further and almost colluding, not almost, but colluding with the person who was making the racist remarks.
If this behaviour is allowed to carry on generally within the organisation, then it will have a major impact on staff morale. This has implications for staff well-being, sickness rates.
Staff also need to be protected from the grind of discrimination because it can ultimately lead to you losing staff.
Policies and procedures to manage racial harassment, as it is in this instance, should have immediately been implemented, and his behaviour should have been stopped as a result.
To prevent this sort of thing happening, organisations need to consider what they might do in the event that it does happen, and having done that, develop a policy. And from there, it's important that the organisation acts on that policy.
You get them straight for banana boat. Stick them in here, give them work permits and let them run the place. No wonder nothing goes right.
Excuse me, sir, can I have a word, please?
Is it our turn yet?
I'm sorry you and your wife had to wait so long, and I can understand it could be very stressful waiting to see the doctor.
Tell me about it.
But your remarks, they're really offensive to me and to other people. We don't tolerate racist behaviour here, so please respect that policy.
What are you going to do if I don't?
I'd have to ask you to wait outside.
Everything okay, Maria?
Help me out here, please, mate. She's making sure all the other foreigners get seen before my wife. She's got the nerve to threaten to chuck me out.
Well, she's right, we don't tolerate racist behaviour here.
I haven't done anything racist. All I said was all the ethnics look out for each other. Statement of fact.
Mr. Baxter, will you please wait outside?
My wife's the patient here. And I'm right, aren't I?
She is the patient and she will be seen as soon as possible, but you're going to have to wait outside.
They've got you under their thumb, haven't they?
Steve, come on. Come and sit down.
Can you leave now, Mr. Baxter?
Go on. Go and get a cup of tea or something. I'll stay with Gemma.
We're being victimised.
I'll be okay.